I clean the house on a quiet afternoon. The sun comes in through the window. The light is soft. The air feels slow. I open an old drawer in the living room. Inside, I see many small things. There are letters, there are photos, there is dust. My hand stops on one thing. It is a notebook. The cover is brown. The edges are soft. The book feels old. I take it out. I sit on the floor. I hold the notebook in my hands. It is not heavy, but my heart feels heavy. This is my mother's recipe book. I do not open it at first. I look at the cover. I remember her hands. Her hands are warm. Her hands move fast in the kitchen. I hear her voice in my mind. She speaks in a calm way. She says my name. She tells me to wash my hands. She tells me to be careful with the knife. I smile without knowing it. I open the notebook slowly. The pages are yellow. Some pages are thin. Some pages are thick with oil marks. I see her writing. The words are not perfect. Some letters are big. Some letters are small. I touch the paper. The paper feels dry. It feels real. Each page has a recipe. Some recipes have notes. Some notes are short. Some notes are long. On one page, I see a line. It says, "Good for cold days." On another page, it says, "Your father likes this." I stop there. I remember our kitchen. It is small, but it is warm. The window is always open. The smell of food fills the room. My mother stands by the stove. She tastes the soup. She adds salt. She tastes it again. I stand next to her. I ask many questions. She answers some. She laughs at others. She says, "Food is not just food." She says, "Food is care." She says, "Food keeps people close." At that time I do not understand. I am young. I just feel safe. Now I sit alone on the floor. The house is quiet. There is no sound from the kitchen. I turn another page. I see a small flower drawn in the corner. She draws it when she is happy. I feel my eyes get wet. I do not cry. I just breathe. I think about time. Time moves fast. People change. But this book stays. I close the notebook for a moment. I hold it to my chest. I feel a soft pain. I also feel warmth. I stand up. I walk to the kitchen. I place the notebook on the table. The table is clean. The light falls on the book. I look at it and think, this is not just a recipe book. This is a story. This is my family. I say softly, "I am here." I feel like she hears me. The kitchen feels warm again. I stand in the kitchen and look at the notebook. It lies open on the table. The pages face the light. I wash my hands. The water is warm. It runs over my skin. I read the first recipe on the page. The words are simple. The steps are clear. I take out the pan. I place it on the stove. I turn on the fire. The sound is soft. It feels familiar. I cut the vegetables. My knife moves slow. I want to do it right. I hear my mother's voice in my head. She says, "Do not rush." She says, "Food feels your hands." I smile again. I add oil to the pan. I wait. I do not move. She always waits. She says waiting is part of cooking. The oil gets warm. I add the vegetables. The sound is loud and alive. I step back for a second. The smell rises fast. It fills the room. I feel nervous. I feel excited. I stir the food with a spoon. My hand shakes a little. I breathe and slow down. She says, "It is okay." She says, "You learn by doing." I follow the notebook line by line. Add salt. Add water. Wait. The words guide me. Her voice guides me too. I remember how she stands beside me. She does not take the spoon. She watches me. She lets me make mistakes. She lets me try again. I taste the soup. It is hot. It is strong. I think maybe too strong. I look at the notebook again. I read the last line. It says, "Taste and feel." There is no number. There is no rule. I understand this part now. I add a little water. I stir again. I taste again. The soup changes. It feels better. I nod to myself. The kitchen feels full, not with people, but with memory. I talk to her in my mind. I say, "Am I doing it right?" She does not answer. But I feel calm. I look around the kitchen. Everything is in its place. The table, the sink, the window. I remember nights when we cooked together. She talks about her day. I talk about school. Sometimes we are quiet. That is okay too. The soup keeps cooking. The steam rises. I feel time slow down. I am not alone. I turn off the fire. I place the spoon on the table. My hands smell like food. I close the notebook gently. I say softly, "Thank you." The soup waits in the pot. The kitchen waits with me. I feel ready for the next step. I stand in front of the stove again. The soup is still warm. The pot is quiet. I take a spoon. I taste the soup one more time. Something feels wrong. The taste is sharp. It hits my tongue fast. I stop. I frown. I taste again. It is salty. My heart sinks a little. I look at the notebook. I read the steps again. I did not miss anything. I think about my hands. Maybe I added too much salt. Maybe I was not careful. I feel disappointed. I want this dish to be good. I want it to be right. I think about my mother. She makes this soup many times. It always tastes warm. I feel far from her now. I sit down at the table. The spoon stays in my hand. The soup smells good. But I feel tense. I ask myself a question. Why do I feel like this? It is just soup. It is just food. But it is not just food to me. This dish carries her hands. This dish carries her time. This dish carries my memory. I do not want to fail. I close my eyes for a moment. I breathe in. I breathe out. I hear her voice again. It is gentle. It is not strict. She says, "It is okay." I open my eyes. I remember her mistakes. She burns rice once. She laughs at it. She spills soup on the floor. She says sorry to no one. She starts again. I smile a little. I stand up. I go back to the stove. I look at the pot. The soup waits. I add some water. Not much, just a little. I stir slowly. I do not rush. I taste again. The taste changes. It is softer now. It feels kind. My shoulders relax. I learn something in that moment. The recipe is not a test. It is a guide. I do not need to be perfect. I just need to be present. I turn off the fire. I place the lid on the pot. The mistake stays in my mind. But it does not hurt as much. I feel closer to her again. Not because the soup is good, but because I keep going. I sit at the table. I wait. The kitchen feels quiet, but it does not feel empty. I look at the notebook. I understand one more line now. It never says, "Be perfect." It only says, "Taste and feel." I set the table in the dining room. The plates are clean. The bowls are warm. I call my family. My voice is soft. I feel a little nervous. They walk in one by one. We sit down together. The soup sits in the center of the table. The steam rises slowly. I hold a spoon. My hand pauses. I serve the soup. I move with care. I do not spill. Everyone looks at the bowl. No one speaks at first. I watch their faces. I wait. Someone takes the first bite. They chew slowly. I feel my heart beat faster. Then I see a smile. It is small, but it is real. "This tastes like home," someone says. The words hit me gently. Another person nods. They take another spoon of soup. The table feels warm now, not from the food, from us. We start to talk. The voices are low. The words are simple. We talk about the day. We talk about small things. The soup moves from bowl to bowl. It gets lower. I watch everyone eat. I do not rush. I remember my mother at this table. She sits where I sit now. She watches us like this. She smiles when we eat well. She does not say much. I understand her smile now. Someone asks me about the recipe. I look at the notebook on the shelf. It is hers, I say. My voice stays calm. They nod. They understand. The meal goes on. The soup is almost gone. I feel full. Not just in my stomach, in my heart. I do not feel proud. I feel connected. The table holds more than food. It holds time. It holds care. When we finish, no one stands up fast. We stay a little longer. The room feels safe. I look at the empty bowls. I think about the mistake. It does not matter now. What matters is this moment. I hear laughter. It is soft. It is enough. I breathe in. I breathe out. This is why she cooks. The table is quiet again. The bowls are empty. The room feels calm. I clean the kitchen slowly. I wash the dishes. The water is warm. The notebook waits on the shelf. I take it down. I sit at the table with the book. I open it to the last page. The page is blank. I look at it for a long time. My hand holds the pen. I do not write yet. I think about the soup. I think about the taste. I think about the small mistake. I think about my mother. She is not here, but she is with me. I begin to write. The words are simple. The lines are not straight. My hand is not perfect. I write the name of the dish. I write the steps. I add a small note. I write, add water if it feels too strong. I stop. I smile. This is my line. I add one more sentence. I write, cook with care. I close the notebook. The book feels different now. It feels alive. I place it back on the shelf. It sits with the others. It belongs there. I stand in the kitchen. I look around. This place holds many days. It holds many meals. It holds many hands. I understand something clear now. The recipe is not a rule. It is a bridge. It brings the past to today. It carries love forward. I speak in a low voice. I say, I will keep this. I feel strong. I feel gentle. The kitchen light is soft. The night is quiet. I turn off the light. I leave the room. The story does not end here. It moves on with me.